What's up, everybody? Welcome to week 4 here on the 52 Horrific Weeks in 1988. I am your host, Moon616, and thank you once again for dropping in. Alrighty, so yeah, week 4 is here. That means that we are approaching the end of January, the first month of the year. Wow, man, this month has really flew by, I gotta say. But anyways, put the remaining films into the randomizer, hit that random button, and we've got Chillers. I think Chillers might even be one of the only anthology films I have in the list of films from '88. If my memory serves me correctly, this might be the only one. I'm not 100% positive, but yeah, Chillers, released by Troma. Yes, my good friends over at Troma finally released this one. This was actually put out in one of the tin box sets a few years back too, also, but they finally released it like on a solo release. Yeah, Chillers, an anthology film. Of course, I love my anthology films. Can never get enough of them. Yeah, getting into the plot of this one. It basically centers around 5 people stranded at a bus stop. This is the wraparound story. So basically, they all show up at this bus stop and they miss their connecting bus. So they're stranded at this bus stop, and what do you do when you're stranded at a bus stop? I guess you swap, their nightmares that they've had. So everybody recently has had a nightmare, and so they start to tell these stories. The very first story involves a girl that is training in a swimming pool. None of these shorts are named, so I'll just call this one the swimming pool. So basically, she's actually sleeping at the bus stop. So she's kind of having this dream right there. But anyways, it involves her. She's in a swimming pool, and was supposedly supposed to be like a swimming star, but she's obviously not that, and she's having issues in the pool and stuff. And anyway, she meets this this boy in the pool, and they kind of hit it off real well and stuff like that. And so it kind of turns out that he may not even be alive; he may be dead. With these shorts, these are so short that I can't really get into them too much. But so there's that. That's the first story in the anthology. It's actually very cool. Probably is my favorite one actually out of the 5 shorts in this one. The imagery in that one's really cool. I thought it was really well done. Kind of cheesy, very cheesy executed, but at the same time it's got a real 80s vibe to it. Very cool. But I love like kind of the imagery that they use towards the end of like all these dead people kind of haunting her and stuff like that. I think it's very fucking cool how they did it. For the second story is about a little boy. Well, not a little boy, maybe like a 12-year-old boy or whatever. He's basically part of like a Cub Scouts or Scouts kind of thing. Anyways, he's in the bush with his scout leader, whatnot, and a couple of the other scouts and stuff. And they've set up camp, and they're out there on a camping trip. And of course, some dude comes across them. He's like a hunter and whatnot, and he tells them that this is his land. You guys need to get the fuck out of here, or else there's going to be big trouble and stuff like that. And then of course he disappears. Nighttime comes, and so they start they eventually kind of get like picked off one by one, and yeah, shit kind of goes down. This one's got a pretty cool twist in it. Once again, these shorts, they're low budget and kind of quickly thrown together, seems like, but very entertaining though. I gotta say, it's for what they are, very cool. So yeah, that one's got like a little bit of a twist to it, and probably the most gore out of all the 5 shorts in this one too. So that one was pretty cool, kind of set in the bush, kind of like a slasher type kind of crazy deal. Next up, the third one in the anthology here. Sorry, I've just got them kind of named down here so I could remember. Yeah, so the third one involves a lonely woman. So basically what she's watching the news one day, and she's kind of talking to the newscaster, in her own little living room, and saying how much she loves him and stuff like that. Well, her friend basically tells her that, you need to get a life, you need to, just do what you need to do, phone up somebody and go out on a date with them. But so she takes it upon herself to just phone up this newscaster and stuff. She freaks out on the phone, and basically she hangs up on the guy. Well, he ends up showing up to her apartment and stuff like that, and they have some relations and stuff, and he basically turns out to be something that, you know, she would never have thought he was, and shit kind of goes down from there. Probably my least favorite one out of the anthology. It was decent, but honestly, it wasn't really. It was okay, kind of cheesy, but you know, it was decent. So, the next story, the fourth story is about this guy. He's like in his mid-20s or whatever, and he figures out a way to bring back the dead by basically what he's doing is he's reading the newspaper, and he figures out a way that he's kind of reading these obituaries and stuff like that, and he comes across this little boy that was like 8 years old or 9 years old that had died and stuff, and he wishes that he could come back and, you know, to live his life with his family and stuff, and the kid appears. So then he sends a little boy off to his family. They pick him up, and weirdly enough, they don't really question it. Yeah, so anyways, he keeps kind of doing this. He brings back another guy, this 22-year-old that he thought that died too young, so he brings him back, and he brings back his brother and stuff. And so basically what it comes down to is that he brings back the wrong person, and it comes back to kind of haunt him a little bit. He shouldn't have brought back this person because he, you know, was a bad one. So that was the fourth short in the anthology, and then the last one revolves around a college teacher. He's a college professor of anthology, and I want to say, what is this thing called? The Ixpay or something like that. So he's basically telling the students about how this how they're doing this excavation just, you know, a few miles from the college and stuff like that, and they've come across this what it is like an Ixpay demon type creature thing or whatever. They're not really 100% sure what the link is between, you know, where it comes from and stuff. But anyways, a couple students, they go up to this mountain to investigate this, you know, this Ixpay fucking legend or whatever. And basically the girl gets embodied by this like spirit of this Ixpay. I think it has something to do with like the Aztecs and stuff. They believe that this kind of spirit could, like, you know, basically invade somebody, embody them and stuff, and but yeah, it goes right back to like the Middle Ages and stuff. It's like some weird theory. But anyways, this girl gets totally, you know, taken over by this Ixpay demon or whatnot, and then goes on a fucking crazy rampage and stuff. So yeah, that story's actually not too bad. Yeah, I mean, there's some pretty good scenes in that one, you know, there's a pretty cool decapitation in that one. Yeah, you know, overall, the whole anthology is pretty fun. It's very low budget. You know, not a lot of gore and stuff is what you pretty much expect from something like this. Like I said, it's pretty low budget. But it does have a really cool wraparound story. I really enjoy it. Like, you know, after every segment, you know, it shows the 5 characters and stuff, and then after the fifth short in the film, they board their bus and stuff like that, and then, you know, some more nightmares happen and stuff. But you know, overall, it's a very enjoyable watch. Like, all the shorts are definitely worth watching. None of them are really bad. Like I said, they're low budget, so there's not a lot of gore. You know, the soundtrack throughout the film is very 80s. It has a very 80s feel to it. I would like to see this movie get like a really cool release. You know, kind of clean up the transfer and stuff. I mean, it's not really like I guess it's kind of like a VHS transfer, not really though. It's done in full screen. It's kind of dark, not overly dark. It just kind of has that kind of mid-tone feel to it. It's actually not bad though. It's really not that bad. But I'd like to see this movie get like a really good, really nice release someday, you know. But yeah, I mean, if you like anthology films, especially ones from the 80s that are low budget and just feel like that, definitely check out Chillers, man. It's really fun, really fucking fun. Like I said, I think all the shorts are decent. They're worth the watch and stuff. So, and you know, for once, an anthology film actually has a pretty cool wraparound story. So, but yeah, you know, Chillers. I'm sure this review's gone on way too fucking long. These are kind of hard to review because you can't really talk about them a whole lot. everybody knows that reviews films that anthologies are really hard to talk about, but definitely worth the time though. It runs 90 minutes, so it's your typical length for a film. So, but check out Schiller's. I think you can get this really cheap. I think you can get this for under $10 or whatever, brand new by Troma. So definitely give that one a shot. But yeah, week 4 here on the 88 series. Yeah, and I'm pretty fucking sure that's the only anthology I have for the whole year. That's kind of shitty, but anyways, guys, I'll be back next week. Of course, I do not know what the film's going to be. Hope you enjoyed that. Sorry if I was kind of all over the place. Anthologies are hard to talk about, but anyways, guys, I will see you later. Peace out.